Sometimes we forget what's outside the world, and in the drawing world, things are introduced that may seem random, like a destiny before being written. Are these random events that led to the current state, or was the evolution that led to our current situation and our current identity always meant to be? The ideas for artworks, be they drawing masterworks, music, writing a book, making a movie, a dance, or any other directed production, is conceived in a moment in time. This moment is the current state of the mind and mental state of the artist or anybody involved. And this mental state that produces a complete work has been shaped through experiences from the perspective of the individual. And this is the reason why a completed work has a unique identity, depending on which time, which moment it was made, by whom, and by what the mental state and current world situation is. The world situation would have influence on the consciousness of the creator of the artwork, and therefore many works can only be made once, and as time passes by, it becomes more difficult to recreate the same or a similar artwork, as we can see in many examples. An artwork recreated decades later, even though it may be recreated by the same artists, or the same team, or a team comprised of mostly the original members, ends up being very different from the original artwork. This is inevitable, as many new ideas and elements have been introduced into the current situation. Ideas from new generations, new technology, new culture. All of these things are added to the consciousness of the original artist, and therefore, an artwork reminiscent of decades past can only be a throwback, a tribute, and not really a true representation of the perspectives of said decade. It wouldn't be genuine, even though it can be influenced by it, of the ideas of decades past, or centuries past, or any amount of time, which has drastically changed the world situation. This is not to say that revisiting these past perspectives in the name of art is a mistake, but rather it's a step back to an earlier point of the road that we have traveled. This earlier point has in it elements that have evolved with us, but it also has elements which we have discarded for one reason or another, consciously or unconsciously. Some elements are discarded from an earlier situation. Revisiting this earlier situation and salvaging as much as we can from it may lead to finding value in discarded elements, value which may have been lost forever, value which now seems newly found, and which can be brought to the forefront and re-examined for our future. And it all comes from a visit to the past, to tie the past, present, and future, but always living in the present and never in the past, because we cannot separate ourselves from our true perspective, which always lives in the present.